Oh, yeah, it's the Big Picture Live. I'm telling you right now, this is an exciting night. A lot of big things going on, but big things going on in the world. And I tell you, it's just, you can't even hardly keep up with it. I mean, it's just like at the last minute, things are coming in. And we breaking news coming in. We got breaking news we're going to cover tonight. You know, it's just no telling. What? What in the world? What?
On Wednesday, October 4th, 2023, the Federal Emergency Management Agency and the Federal Communications Commission will conduct a nationwide test of the emergency alert system and wireless emergency alerts. The test will begin at approximately 2:20 p.m. Eastern Standard Time.
What? I don't even know what just happened. Yes, I do. That's actually probably what it's going to be exactly like that on October 4th. But I'll tell you right now, I don't even know what to think about it. Sandy, what do you think about it?
I'm ready. I'm ready for him. Bring it on.
Y'all don't even know how excited she has been about this. She has rehearsed this. She could not wait to bring her wonderful tinfoil hat on.
Hey, listen. I've heard it for years.
Yeah.
Now you know. It's true.
It's true. She really does have a tinfoil hat. So Sandy, let's relive this. Here we go.
Yeah.
Are you protected? Are you protected?
I feel protected.
On Wednesday,
Oh, Lord have mercy. Lord have mercy.
Yes.
She just said, what the what?
What the what?
Yep. So,
More than stuffed pickles.
oh my goodness. They're saying, I knew she had one. Everybody's like loving this.
Just confirmation.
You know, never done this live before, but
Yep.
let's take a selfie right here live on the air.
Okay.
Come on, me and you in the studio.
You gonna get this right?
All right, let's see. What
Turn
just
it
happened?
around. Turn it around.
All right, here we go.
Reverse.
All right, y'all stay with us.
Stay with us.
Work with us here. We're doing a selfie.
Number one.
Oh, my goodness. What do y'all think about... Oh, no, she did not.
Yeah.
No, she did not.
She did.
I bet you won't give us confetti. You
Maybe.
remember how to do
Maybe
confetti?
later.
Okay, maybe later. All right. Y'all, how do you follow that? How do you do anything with that?
You can't.
I don't understand.
You can't touch this. Mm-hmm.
You can't.
Oh, was you talking about that or me? Just kidding.
Can't touch this.
Just kidding.
She got that MC Hammer anointing on her tonight. Well, Sandy, you just leave your hat on for just a couple of episodes here, a couple of news items, because we're going to be talking about.
I'm in vogue and I'm in appropriate order right now. I'm equipped for this story, right?
Now October 4th, I'm going to be live on this show at 1 p.m. Central Time, 2 p.m. Eastern Time. As it happens, y'all. So, get your tinfoil hat, wrap your phone in tinfoil, whatever you got to do.
If you're not prepared, just hit me up.
Yeah.
I'll help you get prepared.
I'm sure she knows how to build a Faraday cage. And
yes.
I got people asking me, do I need to wrap it in tinfoil, put it in the microwave, all kinds of stuff. Here's the thing.
Just get you an old microwave. Or one of those metal garbage cans.
Okay. So look.
Here's
the thing. We're going to get right into the news, but here's the thing. We're having fun with it, but we're not making fun of anybody that's taking this serious.
No.
And we're not saying that everybody, that there's not extreme, we're going to talk about it in just a minute, there's extreme potential for things going on when this happens that we would not put past the government. But for those that, because some of y'all already told me, I'm sorry, I love you, Larry, but I ain't going to be live with you because my phone's going to be off. I'm going to be hiding in the woods somewhere. I'm going to be in my bunker.
All of our devices will be in the Faraday cage at that time.
I get it. Not us. You're talking about them.
I'm talking about what people say.
Yeah, exactly. Yes. So we get it. We respect that. But for those that want to be with us, we'll be here and we'll go through it as a family together.
Right.
And I'm sure it's going to interrupt the program because that's what it's supposed to do. It should
works as it's supposed to.
Yeah,
right.
I've heard mixed rumors of whether it's going to be on computer screens or not, but we'll see.
Okay. So my opinion is I think this is going to be a nice little bit for the news that night.
Yeah.
I don't think anything is going to happen other than people getting upset.
Yeah.
There will still be those who didn't know this was about to take place. And,
Yeah, exactly.
They'll be scared, alarmed, or whatever. But, the puppet masters of this world, they like to work in the dark and in secret unless something's highly orchestrated. So there's been so much talk and news and preparation about this moment. I don't think they're going to attempt to do anything.
And let me just say that
Not this time anyway.
I just got to say this, baby. It's hard for me to do news right now.
What?
I mean, I just literally
You don't love it?
I want to laugh so hard.
You don't love this?
I just saw Billy just said best intro ever.
Right.
So let's talk. Let's show what we're talking about here.
Okay, hit it.
So why is everyone's phone alarming at 2:20 Eastern time on Wednesday? That's October 4th. If you hear a screeching alert go off on your cell phone and everyone else's cell phone, it's Wednesday, and it's 2:20 p.m. Eastern time, 1:20 our time. Don't panic. The federal government said it will conduct a Wednesday afternoon nationwide test of its emergency alert system, EAS, and wireless alert. Emergency alert.
Right.
The EOS portion of the test will send an emergency alert to all radios and televisions, while the WEA portion of the test will direct alerts to all consumer cell phones. The purpose of the October 4th test is to ensure that the systems continue to be effective, warning the public about emergencies, particularly those on a national level.
Right.
Goes on to say, how does this impact me? It breaks it down at 2:20 Eastern time. The text message, the wireless phones should receive an alert and accompanying text message that reads, "This is a test of the National Wireless Emergency Alert System. No action is needed." The free test will alert you even if your phone is on mute and even if you have opted out of alerts and even Amber Alerts. There is a lot of debate on what will happen if it's turned off. They're saying it will not alert if it's turned off. I wonder if you'll get a notification when it's turned back on. I don't know.
Right.
We'll see. The test will broadcast from cell towers, and that's what's a lot of people's, a lot of conspiracies are out there about the 5G cell towers. But it says it will be broadcast from cell towers for approximately 30 minutes beginning at 2:20
Right.
Eastern. And during this time, all compatible wireless phones that are switched on within range of an active cell tower and those wireless providers, it says it will receive this text message. Yeah. Meanwhile, all radios and televisions will also broadcast a test emergency alert at the same time as the part of the broader test, and this message will run across. You'll hear that sound like what we just said, like we're sort of accustomed to. This is a nationwide test.
So does it say how it's playing out? Because over 30 minutes, is it cycling through each different device or different zones?
I think
how does that work?
From what I understand, for the 30 minutes, it's going to be just rolling out, hitting different types of things.
Okay, because I was curious about that.
Yeah, I think it's going to hit cars. It's going to hit. It's actually also weather radios. Your weather radio is going to go off. I don't know if you knew that, but your weather radio is also going to go off.
This is the gift that keeps on giving, right?
It's the gift that keeps on giving.
If you have a phone and a watch and a computer and a tablet and a weather radio.
But my favorite part of the text and the TV message
and let's keep scrolling.
is this part right here. No action is required by the public. Well, let me just tell you something.
Can we see that in writing?
We're taking action.
Absolute
okay? I'm sorry. I don't take you. When you tell me no action is needed, that sort of tells me action is needed.
Keep scrolling in this article.
Okay.
Hasn't the government messed this up before?
I think it has. And, of course, the most famous one is Hawaii.
Yes, 2018.
And then 2018.
I didn't even remember the one about Florida.
I didn't either. It says earlier this year in Florida, state emergency management officials issued an apology after Floridians were awoken at 4:45 a.m. by a test emergency alert sent to their phones. And last year, FEMA official told CNN that vulnerabilities were there. But the other thing I want to show you while you still got your tinfoil hat on is if you really want to wear a tinfoil hat, if you really want to go down a conspiracy road, you have to ask yourself, why is the day before of all other days, October 3rd, Putin orders the first ever nationwide nuclear drill. It's a nuclear drill that will be triggered across 11 time zones by an alert system. Yep. And it prepares for nuclear bomb tests at the Arctic Circle.
Look out.
It will be just 4 days before his 71st birthday. And it says, it will simulate widespread nuclear strikes from America. So what do you think's going to happen when they go on their news, how they're going to work up what we're doing on October 4th and what they just did on October 3rd? They got their people scared to death, and we're testing something that's never been done on this level in our country. Don't tell me it's been done before. It's been done, but it's never been done on this level in our country as it's about being done. So
we have this test basically monthly?
Yeah, monthly. Rolled out. Yeah.
And it has been, I don't know for how many decades in our country. We can remember being children and hearing, this on our television. But if anyone has any further information about a backup test day being 1 week later on the
October
11th, October 11th, this article didn't talk about it, did it?
They're saying in case there is an actual emergency on October 4th, they don't want to mess that up like a major hurricane or something like that. So they allowed the next week, the 11th, to be the backup day.
So I'm sure some people out in our audience would know that some false flag events have happened on the days that actual military drills or other types of drills were taking place. False flag events happen and pop out on those days, which is very, very interesting to me. But anyway.
Well, there's a lot of other stuff going on in our world that we're going to get to tonight. And, one of the things that's going on right now is the United States House and Senate have been in great debate on what is known as a stopgap spending bill. And, they were believing that they were going to probably shut down on Friday. And do you know what they were arguing over? You know what they were fighting over? Ukraine. They were fighting over Ukraine money. The Republicans said we want to stop the Ukrainian money. The Democrats said we will not agree to anything unless there is Ukrainian money. So I'm going to go to this website here. Right. And it says, surprise, U.S. passes 45-day stopgap funding bill. Surprise, no Ukraine money. And it says the United States Speaker of the House, Kevin McCarthy, scored a shocking victory over the deep state Saturday by securing House passage of a 45-day stopgap bill to keep the government open and cut off funding for Ukraine. We'll have to see how long that lasts. McCarthy's victory seemed almost impossible as recently as this morning amid disagreements in his own conference and willingness among Democrats to shut down the government over Ukrainian funding. But now watch this. It became clear that the momentum for a stopgap continuing resolution, or CR, without Ukraine funding was building. Panicked Democrats began utilizing delay tactics, including a long filibuster speech and including, I don't know if it's here, Representative Jamal Bowman pulled a fire alarm at the Capitol to delay the vote. This is a congressman. And caused people to evacuate the House of Representatives to delay a vote.
Thank you, Mr. Bowman, on that. I'm going to have to take a sip of this yumming wide awake.
Yes.
Appreciate you.
Without getting in trouble here on YouTube here, that sort of sounds like someone trying to come against a government policy. Sort of like what some people are in jail for right now, and I'm not trying to endorse anything. I'm just saying some people were just standing outside doing nothing, and they're in jail. And here is a guy in the Capitol pulling a fire alarm, causing a false panic
there you go.
Just to get people out. Sort of sounds to me like it's trying to obstruct normal operation of government. What is your thoughts?
Totally agree with you. What are you going to do? We need a little more crazy around here, don't we?
Yeah, cray. Well, speaking of cray, I'm going to tell you something else that's got people tore up, Sandy. I mean, I don't care what side of the aisle you're on, you tore up about this one. Robert Kennedy Jr. is about to announce that he is going to run for president as an independent.
Yep.
And this headline says could complicate Trump and Biden 2024 contest. And, when you first read that, you would think it's only going to complicate Biden's chance of winning, or whoever the Democrat candidate is going to be. I personally don't believe it will be Biden. But it's also going to complicate even the Republican side because he is absolutely pro-abortion. He's not lined up spiritually with the way we stand or whatever. I'm not going to vote for him. I'll just tell you that out front right now.
Right.
But the reality is this: his whole stance on the wah is going to really cause some people who are not religious people or whatever to look into him because he's against big pharma. He's against war. I believe if he runs as independent, I believe he's going to garner quite a bit of votes.
I heard today, this was someone's prediction, that 1/3 of Democrats would follow him.
Wow.
Now that seems a little unbelievable.
It does. It does.
Whatever.
If 1/3 of Democrats follow him, then whoever's running for Republican will become the president, or should.
Should.
Things happen. That's all I'm going to say. Things happen.
Yeah, we're in a strange times, aren't we?
Very strange times. I made a show earlier today, and you can watch it. You can go back and watch the replay on the World Economic Forum's control agenda going to the next level. I had to make this video because when I woke up this morning, this is the news article that I saw, Sandy. This is crazy.
Must address it.
The Canadian is he a prime minister or president? I can't remember. I think he's prime minister. Prime minister. Trudeau government orders podcast platforms. Listen to the wording. Orders podcast platforms to register with state broadcasting regulator. The increasingly authoritarian say that word for me. I always mess it up. The increasingly
authoritarian.
Thank you. All I got to hear it one time, and then I got it.
Of course.
Government of Justin Trudeau in Canada has mandated that podcasting platforms and streaming services must register with the government's broadcasting regulatory body and actively promote, quote, meaningful contributions to Canadian and Indigenous content. This is a regulatory plan to modernize Canada's broadcast framework. Let me tell you the basics of it, and then we'll comment on it. If a company has revenue of $10 million or more, they will need to register all of their content, everything that's on their platform, and so forth.
Goodness.
But for the individual they're saying doesn't have to register here. But watch this. If the platform that makes $10 million also offers the ability to have a podcast through their platform, they have to provide all the people's podcasts. So guess what? YouTube is a video platform, but it now offers podcasts. So it was just video because it offers podcasts. Then you think about Spotify.
Yes.
You think about Amazon. You think about all these other companies.
All the others, right.
Now they have to, in Canada, report, listen to me, the subscriber base as well. Not just their programming, but the subscriber base. So that means if you subscribe to my channel, follow me on podcast, in Canada, they have to know who subscribes to my show.
So, question to you. How does this affect your listenership? How does this affect all those who are subscribed to you, everyone who follows you? Are they now excited that their name's going to be?
Yeah.
Of course they're not.
No, of course not. Yeah. Of course not. Yeah, exactly. I know exactly what you are thinking right now. Well, what and what it is, it's meant to scare. Because it's meant to scare you watching this going, well, I don't know. Thank you for that super chat, Johnny D.
Yes, thank you
Appreciate
very much.
that. It's making you get a little scared to say, well, I don't know if I want to be subscribed to the big picture. Because that is the tactic. That is the scare tactic. But we can't do that. We can't let them win.
No.
We have to build an army. Because here's the reality. The way we defeat the algorithm here, the way we get put in front of new people, which every week we're getting new people coming on the big picture. And by the way, we just want to say welcome.
Yes, we do.
And of course, if you're watching us on Rumble, we want to say thank you to our Rumble family.
Yes.
And if you don't already follow us on Rumble, which will possibly be our next go-to if something happens here, rumble.com/Larry Ragland, rumble.com/Larry Ragland, and you can follow us there. But we need to build this base.
Yes.
So the way we defeat the algorithm is make sure everybody that's watching this, if this has given you any value whatsoever in your life, if this has helped you, if you enjoy watching this, if you like Sandy's tinfoil hat and all that kind of stuff, subscribe, hit the like button, hit the like button, hit the like button, hit the like button. That is absolutely one of the best things you can do, and comment.
Look, there's Blessed Hope. Thanks, guys, for joining us
From
all the way from the Philippines.
They love it. He's a great encourager.
Yes.
So let's go back to this and let's just sort of dive into this just a little bit further. I believe the Canadian government, armed with one of the world's most repressive online censorship schemes, because this is a part of an overall bill that they just passed to regulate online content, announces that all streaming services that offer podcasts must formally register with the government to permit regulatory controls. Well, I don't know if I have it here. I don't think I do, but Elon Musk came out and just destroyed it, said it is the worst attack on the First Amendment. Thank you for that super chat.
Yes.
The Butterfly.
Nice.
Thank you.
Thank you very much.
Butterfly Express.
Canada and Australia.
Yeah,
My goodness.
What in the world? Canada and Australia. What are you thinking? How did y'all vote these people in? Canada,
Right.
Australia? I don't get it. But look, what I'm trying to say is this is a step of the World Economic Forum, because they've made it very, very clear that they want to control the narrative.
Yes.
And when you have control, keep in mind that article said not only do you have to register so that you can be regulated, you have to commit to provide content that promotes Canadian principles and Indigenous principles. So Canadian principles is this: it's illegal to preach out in the open. If you say that you don't agree with the LGBTQ lifestyle and whatever in a pulpit, you can be arrested in some parts of Canada. So what does that really mean? Does that mean now shows that are Christian shows, conservative shows, are going to be forced to produce content that goes against what they believe in order to be seen in Canada?
It's a very good question. And once they get there, what next?
Exactly.
Where does it stop? There seems to be no end in sight. But we got to be ready for this.
Yeah.
I think, there's times where you need to push back, really push back. And I think this is one of those times.
Yeah, exactly. I agree it is. And it's not like we didn't know this was coming.
Exactly.
We knew this was coming. I think everybody that's watching this knew something like this was coming.
Of course.
And the reality is this: they're saying the quiet thing out loud. They told us it was coming.
They did.
They have told us with their own mouths.
They have.
In World Economic Forum, sitting there in Davos, sitting there up in there, eating their meat while they're telling you to eat the bugs. They're saying you'll own nothing and you'll be happy. They start talking about all this kind of stuff. And they have had entire discussions in forums at World Economic Forum talking about how to control the narrative.
I agree with you, and I think most everyone out there watching, listening, whatever, agrees with you. But question to you, do you feel it coming faster now?
Absolutely. No doubt. No doubt.
The pace is
100%.
picking up, right? We've been
100%.
talking about this for going on a year now, all the things that we've encountered and all of these forums and all of these summits and all of these conferences and meetings.
Absolutely.
But it does feel like they're picking up the pace.
No doubt. Well, think about it. They have determined and made it very clear they will accomplish those 17 sustainable goals by 2030. I mean, it's at the end of 2023. Now we're about to be 6 years away.
We are.
And so they're in their mind. They feel so empowered. And ladies and gentlemen, what we just went through, the wah and what's coming next, because something else, they'll tell you flat out. And we're going to talk about that tonight, that they're making it very clear. The next one's even bigger that's coming.
Sure.
And they found out what they can do. And here's my thing that I'm gonna cover this on October 4th. Let me throw this back up again to remind you to join us on October 4th. It caught my finger. 1 p.m. Central, 2 p.m. Eastern time. Join us on the show, because we're going to be on here as it happens for those that choose to be on here with us. But I'm gonna talk about it then. I'm going to say it now. This is when they hit everything. Understand, this is not a one-way communication. Okay, it is not. Cell signal and TV signals. I don't want to go down too far, but way back when we first got married, we were exposed to signals coming through a TV.
Yes.
When we were first married, that blew our mind. We were not awake at all to any of this kind of stuff. And we're sitting there playing, and signals are coming from the TV back then. So it's always been a two-way communication. So you're going to ping every phone, every TV, every radio, every weather radio, every car that has GPS and internet based in it, and you're not going to ping their locations, and you're not going to authorize yourself to track them on another level.
I just had a thought.
I'm sorry. Go ahead.
What if we were in Times Square in New York City? That would be crazy, right?
Do you want to go to New York?
Not really.
I mean, we can't. We can't. We got Elevate Conference.
We do. But the people that will be there in Times Square, I mean, imagine the noise coming from the cars, the phones, the devices.
Yeah, somebody, if you're there, somebody please take a picture of all those giant screens.
Please. It'll probably be on the news and everything, but that'd be wild.
Yep.
That would be wild.
You're right, Beauty from Masters. It's at hyper speed. She said it feels like the last 3 years is just increasing faster and faster, and that is absolutely true.
I think I would have to agree with her as well.
So one of the things that is escalating is what's happening in Russia and with the war in Ukraine. This week, I don't know if you heard this, but the UK, some people started saying that they were thinking about sending troops to help Ukraine finish this off. Putin's top ally, Dmitry Medvedev, warns of World War You're laughing at me because I got it right. Warns of World War III if UK troops are sent to Ukraine, and says they would be destroyed. Makes it very, very clear. It says that if that happens, British soldiers training soldiers inside Ukraine would be legitimate targets for Russian forces and ruthlessly destroyed. So it says you go in there and you help them, you train them, you are an enemy, and you will be destroyed.
Goodness.
The Kremlin's mouthpiece furious claims were made after British Defense Secretary Grant Shapps said he was considering deploying UK troops to train soldiers inside the Ukraine. Now, I did see later on the British Prime Minister, and I cannot think of his name right now, came out, and I guess he got a lot of pushback, and he said, I know what they said, but we're not.
Is it Sunak? His last name's Sunak?
I think so, yeah. He said, we're not going to send troops because he, for whatever reason, you can't believe anything any of them say anyway. But he pushed back and said it's not going to happen. But the reason for this news article that we're showing you this is it was very clear. Russia's like, okay, look, you can't play in war. If you come into Ukraine and you start training Ukrainian soldiers, then understand that makes you a Ukrainian soldier. So we're not going to bomb the soldiers and not bomb you standing right next to the soldiers, right? Speaking of the Ukrainian soldiers saying, look at this. We're hearing more and more of this. People that we follow are telling us that it is nothing like the news is reporting. Is a report coming in that thousands of Ukrainian soldiers are surrendering to the Russian army. And this is mind-blowing here. A special radio frequency has been used so that Ukrainian soldiers can safely surrender to Russian forces is now chattering like never before. Thousands of Ukrainian soldiers are opting to surrender to the Russian army because they're not being fed. They don't have any supplies. The surrenders were even seen by Clayton Morris, an American journalist, which we follow, redacted, who expressed the astonishment and said, this is a story that the Western media does not want you to see. Ukrainian forces are laying down their Western-supplied arms and surrendering in mass. Using emergency radio frequencies, they're receiving food and medical care and even sharing critical intel with Russian forces.
No, they're winning the war. They're winning the war, right?
Exactly. And think about it. That was what our budget battle was about.
Yeah.
Do we keep sending money to Ukraine? They want to send billions of more dollars to Ukraine, and some other people were saying, people are losing their homes. People are losing their jobs. They can't pay their bills. Why is that not what we're debating about?
Hello. I mean, we were just talking a month, maybe longer, about how people were being accosted on the streets.
Yeah.
And sent to the front lines.
Exactly. Yeah,
Young
being
men
forced.
being forced.
Yeah.
God.
It's look, war is evil. It's nasty.
It's very ugly.
It's not a video game. These are human beings.
Yes.
We don't even have a clue how many people's died, on either side. I mean, it's just like because look, it's not like we're saying I started to say it's not like we're saying we don't ever believe anything that the government or media says. But as soon as I was about to say that, I was like, I think we are saying that. I think we are saying
Yes.
that be skeptical of everything you're hearing. If somebody tells me 1,000 and everybody, ABC, NBC, Fox News are all saying 1,000 of anything, I'm thinking, depending on whether it's good or bad, I'm adjusting that number tremendously because I'm like, that's the number they agreed on. Their internal polling said we can make it on 1,000. If it goes more than 1,000, they're going to come after us.
Wow. Good way to put it. But you are correct. It's very hard to trust what you hear in the media. These, the big shows. But I would love to know, like you, what are the actual numbers?
Yeah.
Because it does matter. These are lives, like you said. This is someone's children. These are men who have families.
Yeah.
You know?
Apparently numbers don't mean anything like they used to because, we just covered, how many was it that died in that flood
Oh my goodness.
in Libya?
Over 20,000,
Was it Libya?
I believe.
Was it Libya?
Libya.
20,000. It's probably way much higher than that.
And I have not heard another
Nothing.
thing about that story.
Nothing. We're talking about 20,000+ human beings.
That's where it was the last time we talked about it.
Yeah.
But I haven't even seen anything else about it. So who knows where the number is now?
Exactly. And then you go back to Maui, you go back to Lahaina. I mean, it's like no one has ever still answered, where are the children?
Where are the children?
Where are the children? They still not answered that. You know, I watched a video the other day. Can't think of that guy's name.
Eric?
No, it's with used to be with Project Veritas, and they got rid of him.
Right.
He's got his own thing now, and he's been on the ground doing undercover work there in Maui.
Oh, good.
And watched several of his videos. In one of his videos, he is talking to one of the first responders about the dead, and he was just like, we have no idea. He said, we have no idea. He said because they were cremated, and he said the only way we're identifying bodies is we are taking dogs in and letting them sniff the dust, and hopefully they will find the scent of human DNA because they're trained to smell human flesh in the ashes, and then we can pull that little piece of ash and try to find the DNA and identify the dead body. I mean, what have you heard about Maui lately? It's
Very
like you
little.
just move on.
The only thing I've seen about Maui are the videos that Eric West is continuing to put up. But they've kind of taken a different tone now, and that's not even, like it was several weeks ago. So honestly, I don't know anything that's happening with Maui.
Yeah. And that is the plan.
I think so.
That is the plan. All right, so let's talk about this other thing that's coming in 2024, which is war with China. And I mean, it's like, it's almost like that's just like, war with China. No. War with China.
Yes.
War with China in 24 is what our military is telling us and telling each other. And look what's happening now. So Taiwan is saying we know it's coming. Taiwan has launched its first domestically built submarine. Faced with an even larger and more capable Chinese Navy, Taiwan is responding by building a class of its own diesel-electric submarines. So it's like, we are sending stuff over there. They are building things. Come on, put two and two together. They are preparing for a war.
So
there is no doubt about it. There is about to be a war with China.
I'm looking at this, and how much can Taiwan do? Yeah. How far can they push it till, that's just too much. They're on a little island and they have big China, staring down at them. So what do you think? I mean, this is a little bit of a provocation. How much of a provocation is it to China for them to do this?
Yeah, it's a definite provocation. There's no doubt about it. Taiwan's President Tsai Ing-wen presided over the launch ceremony of the Haikun in the southern port city of Kaohsiung today. The name Haikun has been said to be described as a mythical giant flying fish, but also has been translated to narwhal.
again.
Bye, Norwal.
I'm a Norwal.
I love you, Norwal. I'm going to miss you.
Oh, I don't think we're supposed to be funny right here.
Have a Merry Christmas. I'm sorry. When I saw Norwal, I went straight to Elf in my mind. This is a very serious subject. I'm sorry.
I'm sorry, but you've got like 2 more months before we can watch that movie.
Oh, I want to watch Elf. I love Elf. But also been translated to English as not. Look, seriously, we have to. You've let us know that it's okay for us to laugh to keep from crying, because that's really what we have to do, because this is very serious. History will forever remember this day. It was said in the ceremony, in the past, a domestically made submarine was considered impossible, but today a submarine designed and built by our own countrymen is in front of you. It is the concrete realization of our resolution to protect Taiwan. Fist up in the air.
And this is great, but seriously?
Yeah, exactly.
What are you guys?
We love you, Taiwan. We love the Taiwanian people, but the reality is this.
Yeah.
Without NATO and without American help, I mean, you versus China? Come on.
Yeah, what are you looking at here?
Come on. And they know that. They know that. And it could be nothing against the Taiwanian government, but this could be a way of saying, hey, y'all better get over here. Because we can't do this. Or
maybe it's a way to keep morale up in your own country. I don't know.
Yeah.
But
I don't either. Yeah. Well, speaking of our own country, we're being invaded. And I think we've made it very, very clear that we're being invaded. It's obvious.
Yeah, but we're now starting to hear strange sounds, right?
Strange sounds.
Things we haven't heard before.
Yeah, like sanctuary city mayors.
Exactly.
Sanctuary state governors.
I find this very interesting.
Are changing their tune.
Come on.
Joining with the New York City mayor, who we covered last week, now Governor Hochul said border is too open. What words to use? It's just too open. It needs to be open, but not this open. It's just too open. Can we have it a little open? It's too open and demands, listen to this. This is Governor Hochul, the lover of the sanctuary state and city idea, as long as everyone was staying in Texas, Arizona, New Mexico, and Southern California. It's too open and demands limits on crossing as New York struggles with the migrant crisis. Yeah, let's zoom this in a little bit here. But they're struggling with the migrant crisis. Let's see what this article says. The migrant crisis in New York is so bad that even Democrat Governor Kathy Hochul is ramping up her attacks on U.S. border policies, demanding a limit of who can come across. She said it's too open right now. On Face the Nation, the country's southern border with Mexico, where a record-setting 260,000 plus migrants have crossed just last month. And that's just the ones we've been told about. We want Congress to have a limit on who can cross the border. This is the New York governor saying this, not the Texas governor. Yeah. People coming across the world finding their way through, simply saying they need asylum, and the majority of them seem to be ending up in the streets of New York. And that is a real problem for New York City.
You mean the ones that are not staying in the 5-star hotels?
Exactly. I also saw this week that almost 100-year-old veteran was kicked out of his nursing home along with his fellow nursing home attendees to turn the nursing home into a place to hold immigrants in New York.
My goodness.
So I don't know what happened to him, where he went, but he was on camera crying. I mean, this is an absolute shame.
This is ridiculous. Oh, my goodness. So the mayor, we talked about him, was it last week?
Last week, yeah.
So he's upset because the city's taking in 10,000 immigrants a month.
Think about it.
So I was listening to Mike Adams. He's like, we get 10,000 people a day.
Wow.
Because he lives in Texas as well. And they're both true. This is devastating. These are human beings, but it's too much at one time, right?
Sadie, I got to read this.
Okay.
This sounds like the governor of Texas. But this is the governor of New York. Listen to what she says. Hochul's comments come fewer than 2 weeks after she told CNN, quote, "You have to ensure that we can also have controls at the border and not welcome even more people to come who think they're going to come for a job. It really does have to slow down at the border because the volume keeps growing and growing. So we also have to get this message properly that we are at our limit. If you're going to leave your country, go somewhere else.
What?
This is the governor of New York.
That one I haven't heard.
She
My
literally said,
goodness.
if you're going to leave your country, go somewhere else. Unreal.
The time to be on the alert was way before now because we've allowed all these people into the country. And obviously she's upset because it's going to cost a lot of money to take care of these people, provide services for these people. They're going to be wanting to get the same jobs that American citizens are, trying to get. And yeah, it's overwhelming.
It's overwhelming.
We're having trouble taking care of the people that were already here.
Yeah.
How are we going to provide all the services, medical care, and on and on and on for so many immigrants?
Yeah, exactly. And look, one of the things that you can do is if you would like to help us here on The Big Picture, you can go to our website, LarryRagland.com, or as you can see on the screen, LarryRagland.tv. Either one's going to take you to the same place. All of our videos, but you can also get a copy of our new book, I See Greatness in You. It is shipping now, hardcover and paperback edition.
Right.
And when you click here for a gift of any amount, whether it's a one-time or if you want to become a monthly partner, we need monthly partners. If you decide to any amount become a monthly partner, a gift of any amount will get you a new free book, and we would appreciate that greatly because one of the things that's really cool that just happened this week, Sandy, that I want to announce here is that our TV show that our partners support is now on King TV, which covers all of India, most of the Middle East, Pakistan, all of Pakistan. I don't even really know all the area. It's millions of people. And over there, they still watch TV from an actual antenna. And so this station goes through its satellite. They got little satellites set up in their yard. And we were sent a screenshot of our show on King TV. It was so amazing.
Yes, it was.
And
So
you've
cool.
helped us make that possible. So it's millions of people. The first show went out Sunday night and in prime time, and it's repeated again. I just thought that was cool. And I wanted to let the Big Picture audience know that not only is this show that you're watching now being watched by people all over the world, but Christian television viewed by millions of people. You've helped us do that.
That's right.
That's pretty cool.
Made it possible.
That's pretty cool. So let's just get back into the news tonight. So you can go to LarryRagland.com on that. Now, one of the things that we talked about on this show was we told you about a pandemic treaty that was being done at the World Health Organization. A few weeks back, a couple of months back, really, we talked about there was a treaty being put together by the WHO that would give them ultimate authority to override every other country's actual constitution, basically, and be a global power to enforce any kind of wah-wah, any kind of mandates, basically, I don't know if you knew this too, the WHO is trying to bring everything in life underneath their power. Yeah. They're looking to become the most powerful force.
The idea that any one entity, government, or whatever would entertain this idea is overwhelming. But the entire world? Oh,
yeah.
Why not?
Sort of sounds like what I read in the Bible.
I'm in.
A one world government, a one world. But here's what they want to do. They want to say everything involves health, the environment, animals, plants, all this affects your health. So therefore we should have authority. Now, why am I telling you this? Because I want to remind you about it, that the world has come together at the United Nations just this past week and made a proclamation that they didn't pass it, but the United Nations, not the WHO, the United Nations voted. Thank you for that super chat, TLG.
Yes.
Thank you so much. Man,
Thanks
what a
very much.
blessing.
Yes.
To make a resolution to say we will sign this by May of 2024.
So we're talking 9 months?
9 months.
9 months from now.
Think about all that's about to happen in 2024. They're saying we're going to be at war by 2024.
Yes.
The WHO is about to be the most powerful force on the world.
It's an election year.
It's an election year.
All of this stuff.
Yeah, this is going to be crazy.
We're going to see it. The
eclipse.
Yes.
And the eclipse.
Big eclipse year.
In April.
Sorry, that word escaped me.
This is going to happen the month after the eclipse.
Right. Yes.
What
month
in
after
the world?
the eclipse.
This is crazy. This is crazy.
Yes,
This is
yes.
crazy. All right, so look, at the height of the Wham Wham, world leaders proposed a bold idea. They envisioned a pandemic treaty that would obligate countries to work together to prevent future health emergencies like Wham Wham. In other words, to cooperate in a way that didn't quite happen the last time. The World Health Assembly set the deadline for such an accord as May 2024. The idea was to light a fire under the participants and have the accord ready when the assembly convenes in Geneva, Switzerland.
Hello.
But negotiations have seized upon a series of issues. How would such a treaty be enforced? How would it be financed? Blah, 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 blah. I want to play a little clip here from Redacted,
our
a show.
friends at Redacted.
Yes, maybe one day we'll get a chance to meet
Did you
them.
already review this?
I just erased
They have
it.
the link.
I
Okay.
just erased it. Let me go back to it.
Sometimes they have the language thing going on. So.
Yeah, we're just going to play the
Last
first
week,
part.
world leaders moved closer to a pandemic treaty that would hand sovereign power to the unelected World Health Organization. This is the treaty we've been discussing and warning about. It will give the WHO the power to supersede your country's own government and their laws about pandemic rules and more. It is a huge power grab. We've seen these screenshots and we're going to review them in a minute. This will allow the WHO to dictate what is a pandemic, who has to lock down, vaccines, masking. Wow. It will also let them track and monitor you, define infodemics if you're sharing things that things could be dangerous. Even they have said,
I want to remind you that they literally said at the World Economic Forum and the WHO that they believe there is something called infodemics, which means, let's go back to Trudeau. Let's go back to Trudeau, Sandy.
Yes.
What just happened with the podcasters in Trudeau?
Exactly.
And then you remember that the WHO, the United Nations, and the World Economic Forum have all agreed on an infodemic, which means there is a global virus, if I can say that word, of information that goes against their narrative that they can shut down through Sandy. The World Health Organization can shut it down.
We've shown you this. Even true concepts that are being shared out online that they could think are dangerous, they would call that an infodemic, and they'd have the power to censor and monitor you. We've shown you this, okay? You can rewind the tape. Just search it on any platform that you're watching us, WHO. It's there, but I'm going to show you a few more in a second. Now, first, the update, because last week the UN General Assembly happened, and world leaders voted to pass what they're calling a political declaration to pass this pandemic preparedness. So it's not actually that they passed the pandemic treaty, because then we'd all be in it now. They collectively passed a political declaration to pass it. Why did they need to do this? I'm going to explain it to you in a second, but watch.
Listen to this. This sound.
Sorry, that was me. Let me play that.
Consideration. It is.
Boom.
It is adopted.
So full of themselves.
Okay, so did that gavel scare you? It did scare me,
Yeah.
because I've read the document to
I want you
pass.
to listen to this lady right here.
Is a very historic
Listen
day.
to this.
When
I want to play this
first
right here.
Dr. Tedros.
I want you to understand. These are the people that did the wham wham. These are the people that did what they did to us. They're getting ready to do it on another level that we can't even comprehend.
Talking about this declaration.
First, I would like to start by thanking the President and all
This is
member
the WHO
states for
directive.
endorsing the political declaration. This is a very historic day, and thank you so much indeed.
Yeah.
We may be tempted to think that the COVID-19 pandemic is history. But history teaches us that COVID-19 will not be the last pandemic.
Wow. This
The
was last
question
week.
we all face is whether we will be ready when the next one arrives.
When?
As leaders, we have a collective responsibility to make sure we are ready.
All right, collective, he says.
Does anyone believe that?
Foregone conclusion, right?
Yep. I mean, literally, he didn't say that could possibly, that will be coming again.
Sure.
And so how convenient for them that when it comes again, that they will have a power that they realize they did not have last time. You think you were controlled before? How about your whole life? She goes on to say in this video, and you're going to go watch it, go to Redacted and search the WHO and you'll see this. She goes on to say that in this treaty, it says it can determine what medicines you take, what kind of treatments you are permitted to take. It has the ability that if the FDA, our own Food and Drug Administration,
Right.
approves a medication to treat a wah-wah, they have to submit it, if this is passed, to the WHO under the treaty power, and they can say, look, we've done our tests and this works. Well, if it does not fit the narrative of the WHO will have the ability to override and say you cannot treat the wah-wah because it's under emergency power. With that, we don't approve that medicine. That is real.
So dangerous and ridiculous. I just wonder how many people are completely clueless that this is going on.
Exactly.
And, you know, all the things that we talk about here, and there are so many things that we talk about here. How many people are aware and feel this control, you know, the fingers around the neck tightening and tightening? I think there's a lot of people that are totally clueless.
Yeah, exactly. They are, Sandy, they are clueless. And I'll tell you what else they're clueless about. And quite frankly, I think there's no way to really even know how to even know this, but it's even in our food now.
We've talked about this before.
I know it, but I'm like, how do we know? I mean, we're eating meat all the time. How do we know it's in there? It says, U.S. food supply will soon be contaminated with mRNA vaccine-tainted meat. Beware the source of your beef, meat, and pork and seafood. It says Americans will soon be able to add shrimp to the list of high-risk meat products getting slipped into the increasingly toxic United States food supply thanks to an Israeli company that just raised $8.25 million from a group of venture capitalists to start administering oral RNA-based wah-wah drugs to the marine life food chain. He goes on to say, yeah, exactly. That's where I feel exactly. He says, this person says, if nobody stops them, the globalists will genetically re-engineer the entire food supply, creating a global population of GMO people.
Yeah.
We thought it was just GMO foods that we're trying to avoid. How can you avoid it if you are GMO as well? Genetically modified organism?
Yep. Very good question. Yeah, they told us that they also wanted to reduce the carbon emissions, right? They just didn't tell you that you were the bad carbon emissions.
Yeah, sounds like a movie. Yep, that's all I'm going to say. What are you going to do? I mean, I got to eat hamburger. I mean, I got to eat. I mean, come on. God designed us to eat.
He did.
One of the greatest scriptures in all of the Word of God, y'all, is when Noah got off the boat and God gave man permission to eat meat.
Yes.
Because as far as I can tell, he never gave the command that we can eat meat up until the flood. Well, there's a vegetarian diet.
Must have been a glorious day.
Oh, but somebody's going to blow. Well, bless God, before they started eating meat, they lived to be 600 to 1,000 years old. Look at Methuselah, look at Adam and all that. After the flood, it's only 80 years, maybe 100 years, because of all that red meat. Yeah, but they died happy. Red meat. I love a good steak. Yeah. But is it really steak? Still, I don't know anymore.
We can't say anymore.
Okay. Because, one of the things that we heard Mike from around the world talking about how certain foods have started to change their taste over the years, and they really have. If you think about it.
Yes,
they have. And now we're finding out that they're already putting bugs in it, and we didn't even know it. Do you remember we read that this week?
Yes.
What was that they were saying? They're already putting bug protein in. I can't remember what it was. But it was a company that admitted that they're already been approved, and they've been already putting bugs in our food. Yeah. Yeah, that's right, Roy. It's called transhumanism. You're exactly right. That's where it's trying to go. That's where they want to take us. They want to make us. They don't just want to program our money. They want to program us.
And they've got all this figured out. They've got it just wrapped up with a cute little bow. They've figured out all the ins and outs from 15-minute cities to this World WHO treaty. I think they are convinced they have it perfectly timed out and figured out. But I think for the most part, they've got their plan down.
Yeah.
It's not perfect by any means, but
yeah. Oh, yeah.
They probably have contingencies for contingencies.
And the truth is, look, we're not fearmongers here. No. I know you think we are, but we're not. We're just truth tellers.
Right.
And we're just trying to wake you up in the quick time that we have with you once a week here.
Well, everyone here already knows the reality of the 15-minute cities.
Yeah.
And we've already lived through one pandemic. So, when someone's telling them something else is coming, they can begin to assimilate all their thoughts and imagine what they may have to deal with somewhere in the future. Yeah. So nobody's panicking here. Yeah. It's just we do need to talk about these things.
This is the world we live in. I mean, somebody asked me the other day, I can't afford to pay my rent. How am I going to buy gold? Because preachers talking about gold and all this. I get that. I fully get that. I have compassion on that, respect that, because that's probably most people. And so somebody said, well, what are we going to do then, Pastor? And somebody made a great point. They said, we're going to have to just be smart as we can, but we may have to end up being involved in CBDCs to be able to buy something. I don't know. If your cash is not worth anything, if you can't buy or sell, you ain't got the mark of the beast. CBDC is not the mark of the beast. But if you eventually have to go that route, I don't know what that looks like. I don't want to have to do that.
Exactly.
But here's the thing. It's the same thing with our food. There is no telling what was in this. Exactly. I mean, there is no telling what was in everything that we eat. And even the things that say organic are still got things in it. So it's like we got to eat, but we got to just not operate in fear. We've got to have some kind of hope. And that's what we're trying to do on this show.
Well, several people in chat are saying, yes, food tastes different. Things taste different than they did just a year ago. And someone else was, advising and suggesting try to purchase foods from local farmers.
Yeah, that's a good idea.
And I think that's a great idea if you can do that.
Or grow your own if you can.
And certainly grow your own if you can.
Yeah.
I've been trying to have a little garden all summer, and quite frankly, I'm not very good at it.
Hey, you want to tell them about that time we planted that garden and we was going to be so Holy Ghost special. We was going to just claim the word of God.
And we did.
Y'all, we
and it did.
Hey, let me tell you something.
So much so that we got overwhelmed.
Yeah, exactly.
We're amazing farmers, but we don't know what to do with this.
But wait a minute. You're trying to make it sound like we're amazing. Listen, this was...
We were amazing farmers 25 years ago.
But we were not, Sandy. Are you forgetting what happened? We tilled up a piece of dirt, planted the seeds, made it look all pretty, got the Bible out, spoke blessings over the harvest, and we left it alone. We were so busy, we come back and we couldn't figure out why nothing was growing.
No, certain things did grow crazy. We didn't know we couldn't eat all of it. We didn't know what to do with it. But yeah, it got out of hand. Yep. It went crazy.
Well, one thing that I've always wanted to do, Sandy, is while driving in my car on the way to somewhere, to make a purchase.
Absolutely.
With my fingerprint in my car.
While you're driving.
While I'm driving. This is such something that everybody has been wanting.
We all need to be able to do this, right?
Which, by the way, you got to have a Mercedes-Benz right now to do this, and we certainly can't afford a Mercedes-Benz.
I'm sorry, that's going to disclude a few of you guys.
Yeah, but
there, right?
But it's just a test. It's coming. Mercedes-Benz partners with MasterCard to integrate fingerprint sensors to make purchases within the car. We're not just selling and maintaining cars with our comprehensive Mercedes-Benz ecosystem. We make life easier for our customers. In this, we bundle all areas related to the car. Digitalization.
That was good, baby.
Thank you. Opens up completely new possibilities. The CEO of Mercedes Pay. I didn't know that was a thing.
Mercedes Pay Plus?
So Mercedes Pay Plus has been technically existing since 2018, but did not have the biometric integration at the time.
Those biometrics, they're so important.
They're so important. The app allows owners to make direct payments to Mercedes and unlock purchases of add-ons to the car. Well, do you not know that this is also going to be that, you want to drive down the road, you want to say, tell your phone to order, a takeout or something, and then you'll just, your car is going to talk back to you and say, to pay, give us your fingerprint or look into it with your eye. And you go, and all of a sudden you're going to pay. I mean, do we not know that's where this is going?
I bet it sounds just like that.
It's going to be something like that. And I got a feeling it's going to be exactly like that. So we can pay with our cars, Andy. What do you think about that?
Hey, why not?
So,
you deserve it.
So, if you can afford a Mercedes, the one thing that you've always dreamed of, you've worked hard, you've become a businessman, you've become a millionaire, or not just a millionaire, you're well off, and you've purchased a Mercedes, you've got your dream car. The one thing you've always been missing is the ability to pay for your McDonald's when you take that Mercedes through the drive-thru with your eyeball or with your finger. And not have to take your wallet out at the drive-thru. What a convenience. That's what all Mercedes drivers
Are you
have
talking about Grubhub?
Yeah, Grubhub.
When you order your food ahead?
With
your phone?
Yeah. Yeah, I don't want to say, hey, you know her name, because it'll set off everybody's phones right now. Okay. But, yeah, okay. This next story, y'all, I need to prepare you.
Yes.
I need to prepare you for this because
this is get the popcorn, okay? I'm just going to go ahead and tell you.
We're very close to Jimmy.
Run to the kitchen. We're going to give you a couple of seconds. Run to the kitchen.
Yeah, we're not at Uncle Jimmy.
Get you a drink, get the popcorn, and get back, okay?
Because let me ask you before I show you this. Had you ever heard that this was a condition?
No, but I'm loving it.
Yeah, okay. So if you needed any further evidence that we need to basically collectively go to about 2/3 of the men in the world and just take their man card.
Yeah.
And just say, okay, just give it to me. You're no longer a man.
Absolutely.
In the UK, all the folks that watch us in the UK, what are y'all doing to us?
Yeah.
The UK.
If you're in the
Service.
UK and you know about this, please speak up now.
Please speak up now. First, when I saw this, I thought this was a woman who now is trying to be a man. But this is actually a story about biological men. Menopause. Menopause. I want to say it one more time. Menopause.
You stop. There are women throwing things at their screens.
So the UK
right now.
Exactly. They're like, are you kidding me?
They're offended.
Listen. If you ain't got mad because men are now winning women's sports, hey, they also want
to have a year of paid leave for male menopause.
Male menopause.
Now, can we pause right here?
Let's pause.
Sorry.
Okay.
I just cracked myself up. Okay. Women who give birth to another human
I'm going to give this one to my wife.
don't even get a year. 8 weeks, maybe, in this country. Not sure about that country. Seriously? A year of paid leave.
Do women get any leave for menopause? Do y'all have, is there like a menopause clause? Am I saying that right? Menopause?
Not in this country, and probably not in the UK either.
So not we, but the UK Health Department said men, they've won the women's sports, Men or women are winning women beauty pageants. They're winning prom queens, homecoming queens. Now they want your menopause. They've come after your menopause, Sandy. They've said, give us your menopause.
I'll tell you what I would love to see.
We want a menopause.
I would love to see one of these dudes win homecoming queen and the rest of the girls beat the crap.
Sandy, we do not endorse violence. Have you not seen some of these videos going around?
No.
Please understand this is complete parody. Please understand. Disclaimer.
Okay. So,
The
seriously.
views expressed on the big picture are not necessarily the views of YouTube or
Back to this
or its
story.
advertisers.
Come on. This is ridiculous. What next?
Let's read it, okay? Let's read it. All right. So Trust in the UK is allowing employees to take up to 1 year of paid leave to deal with problems and embarrassment of male menopause. This is not the Babylon Bee. East Midlands ambulance service managers suggest that portable fans and heaters should be available to those dealing with male menopause, as well as advising them to return to work slowly and seek advice for the problem. The symptoms of male menopause or menopause include, among other things, anxiety, depression, low libido, and hot flushes or flashes, I would assume. So men can have menopause hot flashes. Okay. The deputy director of human resources at the trust stated, quote, "We provide occupational sick pay for up to 12 months based on service length that will support absences which may result from symptoms of the andropause or where time off for medical appointments is required, as well as having menopause guidance. We also support anyone within the organization who is affected directly or indirectly by the andropause or male menopause." So in other words, the UK lets the menopause and the menopause patients have up to 1 year off to deal with hot flashes.
Yeah.
Whew, it's getting hot in here.
No time off for you.
No time for you. No time off for you.
Well, I just want to say that
That was crazy.
Yeah. So we this isn't the show Stranger Things, but yeah, we are officially in the upside down with that story.
We are in the upside down with
Yeah.
that story. So that was a nice little segue, I guess, to just a rapid fire here on how quickly
Please let it be rapid.
quickly that the world is going to biometrics. I mean, we talked about digital IDs, but let me tell you, every single week there's a new country, there's a new government. Greece is now introducing biometric ID cards as dissidents. In other words, people that are pushing back against the ID cards are called by their own government conspiracy theorists for rejecting digital IDs. So now it's a conspiracy theory, and you are considered a nut job, need her hat like she had on earlier, if you push back against this. Greek Prime Minister, you see his name, assured the cabinet that the new biometric IDs do not contain.
That was going to be a good one, too.
I'm going to do it. Kyriakos Mistakos.
No.
Yeah. Any chips or cameras are
Mitsotakis.
Woo! Greece is starting to issue its
Thank you,
new
God, for this wide awake.
Yes, Lord. Identity cards, which will be valid for the next 10 years. The country introduced a government platform where citizens can apply for government IDs and started offering appointments at police stations. So you go into the police station, you get your digital ID. That's good for 10 years. It's your driver's license, it's your passport, it's your ability to transfer money, to buy and sell. Think about those words. And if you don't want it and you push back on it, you are considered a right-wing conspiracy nut job.
We checking all the boxes tonight, y'all. And Jimmy hadn't even showed up.
Jimmy's on his way.
What you gonna do with that?
I can hear bzzz. Y'all hear that? Bzzz. He's somewhere flying around here.
No, it ought to sound like this. He wants out of the closet.
Yep. One more, and then we go to Jimmy. Australia, you in Canada. Why do I have to keep coming back to you, Australia? What are you doing in Australia?
Well, it's a proving ground. It's let's see what we can get away with here, so we can push it out to the rest of the world.
Yeah, we got several that watch us from Australia, and y'all asking the same question. What in the world's going on in my country? Australian scientists are now 3D printing living brain cells, able to send and receive information. Do you understand? I'm talking about printing from a computer, sending a signal to a printer, and printing living brain cells using bioinks. Bioinks. Researchers at Australia's Monash University have 3D printed living neurons, brain cells, that continue growing in a lab and are able to send and respond to nerve signals. Now, we said the word earlier. Would you not agree every week we see a bigger push to transhumanism?
Absolutely. And bigger push coming faster, faster, faster.
Yeah.
So what is the end game for this story?
Yeah.
I would like to know.
Yeah. Well, you have Elon Musk Neuralink. You have things like this going on. We covered last week, we're now growing organs in animals. We're not just using animals' organs.
No.
We're growing human organs in animals. We're messing with DNA. No telling what just happened around the world last 2.5 years. We have no idea. We have no idea. I mean, I'm telling you, you can claim that you know on either side. I mean, you can watch some people that tell you that you got little mini robots inside of you. You can watch the other one saying everything you're saying is complete garbage and stupidity. You're following blindly, a bunch of idiots. The truth is probably somewhere in the middle, and
Yes.
we just don't know. But there's only a handful of people that really know the agenda of this world right now, but we know the agenda of the enemy.
Yes.
Because we read the Bible and the Bible is being proven every day to be truer and true. Not truer, but every day more and more, I should say, is being proved true. I'm telling you things that people used to mock and make fun of. When talking about the Antichrist, the one world government, one world currency, not be able to buy or sell. How you going to make billions of people?
You got everybody from Joe Rogan to Rick and Bubba talking about the Antichrist and the mark of the beast now, right?
Exactly. Did you see that clip from Joe Rogan?
Well, I heard about it, yeah.
Unbelievable. His guest said, he goes, why do you think they're doing all this? His guest said, I think it's probably, Joe, to be honest with you, it's moving towards the mark of the beast. And Joe Rogan, on his show, a professed atheist, now agnostic, which is moving towards.
Moving in the right direction, at least.
And he goes, what does the Bible actually say about the mark of the beast? And he goes, hey, you know what we need to do? We need to read it. And Joe Rogan, I see him on eyes, some of you seen. Joe Rogan starts reading the book of Revelation about the mark of the beast.
Woo!
And I'm like, I'm going to tell you something.
Bet you never thought you'd say that.
No, I'm talking about millions upon millions of people who are sitting back wondering what in the world's going on in this world that are nowhere near being a Christian. They start hearing that and reading that, and they're going, maybe I need to go read the Bible.
Exactly. Well, if we're not already in, and I do believe we are in the days of Noah, we're heading there fast, where every thought of man was evil continually.
Say that. No doubt.
Wow.
No doubt.
Goodness. What do you hear? What do you hear?
Listen.
Come on, Jimmy!
Uncle Jimmy is in the house.
Yes, he is. Somebody let him out of the closet.
My Lord.
Woo!
Supernatural
AI update.
To all our new big picture viewers tonight, you're like, what in the world did I click on tonight?
Oh, this is why you're here, folks.
You come here for Jimmy.
You did not know what you were missing.
Maybe we have so many new people. We need to point out who Jimmy is.
Well, he's your uncle.
It's my no.
Jimmy's your uncle.
That's not Jimmy. That's Jimmy. Jimmy, that's Jimmy.
Do y'all see the family resemblance? Oh, I'm sorry, babe. I'm sorry.
Hey, back off. Back off. Hey, and if y'all read my book, then you know that part of my family I don't even know about. I'm just gonna go there and just gonna move on. Jimmy. Jimmy, one of the things that's always under Jimmy is not just aliens and robots, but what is really behind all of it, in my opinion, I believe it's going to be used to be involved in everything that's going to be during this, what we call disclosure, is AI. AI is exploding, Sandy. It is changing our world even as we speak. You want to talk about record speed. We're talking about the world going record speed. AI is, we've never seen anything duplicate so fast in knowledge as AI.
I'll agree with you. ChatGPT, when is the next version going to be going live?
Very soon, 5. But this is, we're going to do some AI, a lot of AI stuff here. So let's get into this. The first one I want to show you here is pretty troubling. As you know, Robin Williams, one of the most famous comedians ever in our lifetime, I believe it's openly said that he took his own life. At least that's what was told to us. Robin Williams' daughter says that using AI to mimic his voice is personally disturbing. His daughter Zelda said she's not happy about her father's voice being recreated using artificial intelligence AI technology. Quote, I am not an impartial voice in SAG's fight against AI, the Screen Actors Guild, with the strike that they're going on. I've witnessed for years how many people want to train these models to create and recreate actors who cannot consent, like my dad. The 34-year-old actress wrote on her Instagram story, this isn't theoretical. It is very, very real. I've already heard AI used to get his voice, talking about Robin Williams, to say whatever people want. And while I find it personally disturbing, the ramifications go far beyond my own feelings. Living actors deserve a chance to create characters. Listen to the words here. Living actors deserve to create a chance to create characters with their choices to voice cartoons, to put their human effort and time into the pursuit and performance. These recreations are, at the very best, a poor facsimile of greater people, but at their worst, a horrendous Frankensteinian monster cobbled together from the worst bits of everything this industry is, instead of what it should stand for.
That was beautifully put by his daughter Zelda, but we never could have predicted this is where we would be. Just in reference to Hollywood.
Yeah.
What are these people thinking?
Yeah.
They've gone to Hollywood. They've gone to this city. You know, they could have spent their time and energy in another area, getting a career going, but, you know, someone led them to believe they would have a future and a chance and a career as an actor, as an actress. And now here they are on strike, in the streets, watching all of this play out. It must be a very scary reality to all of these folks.
And I remember doing a show. I did an individual show back several months ago about Tom Hanks. And Tom Hanks had come out at that point and said that his lawyer at that point, this was back probably 4 or 5 months ago, was negotiating with the studios and with agents to create a long-term contract now for him to be able to live on through AI, because he knew where it was going. And he said, while I'm alive, I want to be able to control the destiny of my image and my likeness. So he said his lawyer was constructing contracts. Get this now. He said, because I know not long from now I won't be able to do the kind of movies that I'm doing, but even after I'm dead and gone, I want to be able to agree to do a 5 or 6 movie series and do it when I was 35 years old. And it be me, and no one know that it wasn't me, other than they just knew that I had died, but it would be just like me, sound just like me, and I want my family to get paid. So he was ahead of it, because it was almost sort of like he knew this was coming.
Okay, well, he's a heavy hitter. He is a power player.
Yeah.
And he's having problems, right?
Right.
Everything's not going smoothly and exactly the way he wants. Billy Mitchell says he's suing a company who's using his AI likeness.
That's our next story.
Right.
Yeah.
So if this man is having concerns, worries, and problems, what is the little guy?
Yeah.
The up and comer, what hope do they have?
Now let me just say once again, I'm seeing. As Alicia just said, just had
I
an
saw
ad
that.
pop up. So I want everybody to know
Saw
right now, we are a monetized channel. So probably you get an ad at the beginning, you get an ad at the end of a live show. If it's a replay of the show, you might get a couple of ads in the middle. We can't do anything about that. But I'm going to tell you something. When we go live, I make sure that I do not check anything or uncheck whatever I need to uncheck, that no ads are to be shown during the stream, front and end, and that's it. So if you're getting an ad during the live, it is 100% because you're trying to be distracted from an algorithm wanting to cause you to be frustrated, to quit, get out of sync where we're at, miss something that's being said. We are not doing it. I want to make sure you know that we are not adding ads ever during a live stream. And that night that it was going crazy, that was YouTube trying to shut us down that night. But several people commenting on the very story that we're about to talk about. Tom Hanks is warning fans about an AI image of him promoting a dental plan. This is unreal, man. He's suing this company. Tom Hanks has issued a warning to fans saying they shouldn't believe he's peddling dental plans on the side. The Academy Award-winning actor addressed on an ad on Instagram Sunday that he says uses artificial intelligence likeness without his permission. This is what it says. Beware, there's a video out there promoting some dental plan with an AI version of me. I have nothing to do with it. Hanks wrote on the social media platform. He accompanied the message with the AI-generated photo of himself. This is a screenshot, and in the screenshot, it looks a little fake, but when it's moving, it don't look as fake. But this is a screenshot of the ad that Tom Hanks shows that he's literally standing there before a camera and running an entire ad trying to pitch a dental plan. He goes on to say, anybody can now recreate themselves at any age they are by the way of AI or deepfake technology. I could be hit by a bus tomorrow and that's it. But performances can go on and on and on. This is what I was talking about earlier.
And the money on and on and on.
Yep. Outside the understanding of AI and deepfake, there'd be nothing to tell you that it's not me and me alone. And it's going to have some degree of lifelike quality. That's certainly an artistic challenge, but it's also a legal one. And you know what? Tom Hanks got his own issues.
Sure.
That would get me in a lot of trouble if I was to talk about right now on this platform. But the reality is this: he is a great actor, and I have watched several of his movies. I mean, Wilson, I mean, was a classic.
Right.
But the reality is this: what he's saying is true. I mean, I don't know if they can stop it.
We could do a deep dive right here. So,
Be careful.
this is the thoughts that I have. Okay. Let's go back, I don't know how many years, to one of the latest Star Wars movies where, makeup or whatever was supposedly used, all this artistic stuff they were working with 4, 5, 6 years ago to help finish one of the Star Wars movies. Was it the older version of Leia?
Princess Leia, yeah.
Princess Leia?
Yeah.
Let's go to the last Fast and Furious movie with Paul Walker, where he died, but his brother came in, and with some cinema magic, we were able to get those last scenes that he hadn't finished before his terrible car accident. Okay? And it was pretty convincing, right? So what if, even back then, instead of just their old cinematic magic and makeup and whatever, we were tinkering around with this technology then?
Yeah, exactly. So I see a lot of the comments about Tom Hanks. I mean, I'm in agreement, but I just can't say it. But staying on AI, Bibi Netanyahu, which, by the way, you mess around with stuff, that's what you get. And Israel is one of the leading people that are using AI. In fact, they've put them in their military. We covered last week, they unveiled an AI-driven tank.
Yes.
But he speaks about AI's danger. He says it could be a blessing or a curse. Benjamin Netanyahu speaking at the United Nations. I mean, this is how big AI has gotten. They had an entire session of the United Nations where prime ministers and presidents spoke about AI. Warns of an AI revolution that could have catastrophic consequences if the world is not careful. Ladies and gentlemen, whether our future will provide to be a blessing or a curse will all also depend on how we address perhaps the most consequential development of our time, the rise of artificial intelligence. Now listen to this. The AI revolution is progressing at lightning speed, he said. It took centuries for humanity to adapt to the agricultural revolution. It took decades to adapt to the industrial revolution. We may have but a few years to adapt to the AI revolution. The perils are great, and they're before us: the disruption of democracy, the manipulation of minds, the decimation of jobs, the proliferation of crime, and the hacking of all the systems that facilitate modern life. Yet even more disturbing is the potential eruption of AI-driven wars that could achieve an unimaginable scale. And behind this perhaps looms an even greater threat, once the stuff of only science fiction, that self-taught machines could eventually control humans instead of the other way around.
Exactly.
Unbelievable.
Control humans. What if they decide that we're just too problematic and they want to get rid of us?
Yeah. And here's the reality. Who would have ever thought that a prime minister of a major country would address the United Nations and describe Terminator?
Yeah.
I mean, he literally just said it without saying it. Tell me, Benjamin Netanyahu, you saw Terminator, without telling me, Benjamin Netanyahu, you saw Terminator. Because the reality is this: they know things that they can't tell us. They know things are happening with the military right now that scares them to death.
Sure.
They have heard things, they have seen things that if they told us, it would be mass panic, and they can't tell us. But he's addressing the United Nations and saying the final thing is where we are going is that they will control us. Quit believing that we're always going to control them. Only difference, Mr. Benjamin Netanyahu, you ain't talking about me. Because when it finally gets to that point where mankind is no longer humans or no longer running and with dominion on this earth, I'm out of here.
Yes.
Jesus is coming to get me. And if y'all ain't right with God, you better get right with God, because only the ones that have gone through Jesus are going, because he made it clear, didn't he? He said, I'm the way, the truth, and the life.
Yeah.
No man gets to the
Come
Father
on.
except by me.
Preach, preacher.
Preach, preacher. Well,
Yeah, you better smash that like button.
what if I was to talk like this for the next few seconds? And I said, you need to smash that like button. Yeah, you need to subscribe. Well, I feel like telling you that if you hit that subscribe button, I feel like telling you if you smash that like button,
And I'd say, come on, it's time to pass the plate.
Why'd you do that? Now they're going to call us money-hungry preachers. We are not. We are not money-hungry preachers. We don't ask for money. Although, if you'd like to become a partner, all you got to do is click that join button.
So easy.
So easy. Oh,
See, baby, I was just trying to create a segue to help you out.
That was a nice segue.
That's right.
Just click that join button down there and go to our website, LarryRagland.com/give. I digress. So you know the guy that made the Chat GPT? His name is Sam Altman. He is the CEO and the founder of Chat GPT. He's also the founder of the sphere thing that they put their eye in.
Right.
The world coin and all that.
Why do we not have a picture of that thing, Ray?
Yeah, exactly. He's the one that invented that. Well, look what he's done now. Technomaniac Sam Altman says he intends to think about how audacious that is. He intends to replace normal people he calls median humans with AI. In other words, if you happen to live a median life, you could soon be out of a job. Median means average. Or at least that's one way to interpret his comments. The following report is from Futurism. That's one way to talk about blah, 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 blah. It says, He says AI executive has disconcerting penchant for using the term median human, a phrase that seemingly equates to a robotic tech bro version of average Joe. According to Insider,
Sorry, did you just say
bro.
Tech bro.
Bro. That's what this article said. Tech bro. What's up, bro? I am only here to help you. I am only here to help you. Thanks, bro.
Ooh, Anthony, that is so smart what he just said.
What did he say?
They've told us everything we know, but they've not told us everything they know.
That's my son right there. I'm so proud of him.
Yeah.
According to Insider, it's not even the first time he's said this much. In a 2022 interview, Altman explained that...
On the Lex Friedman podcast.
Oh, yeah. Hey,
How does this man do it?
he gets everybody.
It's ridiculous.
Have you ever watched him?
Yes, of course I've watched him.
It's like, Sam, what made you an expert in
You know
AI?
what? I'm going to start my own show, and I'm going to
that's
be
his interview
a superstar.
Yeah, especially if you wear your hat you started off tonight with.
Good grief.
You're going viral with that hat, I'm telling you. Going viral. If y'all missed the first of the show, you got to go back and watch the first show. You ain't never seen a big picture intro like that one. Let's just
Techno bro. What was that word you said? Tech bro.
Tech Pro. You know, it's an AI version. It's the Tech Bro.
I'm gonna. You know what? I'm just gonna start making up words.
Let's do it. Hey,
And I still love that one you made. Alpha and Omega.
My God operates in the Alpha and the Omegism
He
of
is
God.
still the Alpha and Omegism.
You may operate in the natural. He operates in Omegism.
24/7.
Well, the preacher's coming out tonight. All right. Now, the good thing is that I love about the internet is if you ever want to
There's
know,
just one thing.
yeah, it's one thing I love the most about internet is if you want to know the truth about anything, just search it on the internet. And then you can tell people, well, I found this on the internet.
On the internet.
So the internet
Gotta be
said,
true.
Internet said. I even saw a meme one time where it was a pretty cool quote about the internet, about how you can fully trust the internet, but sometimes you don't need to believe everything that's on there. And it was signed Abraham Lincoln. I was like, that's a perfect illustration. Yeah. But watch this. Studies predict, get this now, this is 2 years from now, that 90% of internet will be generated by AI in 2 years. Within 2 years, 90% of all content online could be the product of artificial intelligence, according to a study in the European Union Agency for Law Enforcement Cooperation. Content generated by bots, AI, and other non-human sources is known as synthetic media because it's not been directly created by humans. In most cases, synthetic media is generated for gaming, to improve services, or to improve the quality of life. However, the increase in synthetic media and improved technology has given rise to disinformation possibilities. For one such instance, Jane Friedman, who writes guidebooks for writers and self-publishers, found books for sale on Amazon that she didn't write, but carried her name on the cover. After looking over the books, she said they were bloviating garbage, repetitive, like a really bad student essay, and didn't have anything meaningful. Whoever's doing this is oblivious, obviously preying on writers who trust my name and think I've actually written these books. I have not. Most likely they've been generated by AI. Goes on to say, that if this is the case, think about it. Think about right now what that number already is. It's probably close to 40 to 50% right now. I mean, you can literally go to ChatGPT right now and you can put in it, write me a book about AI and the dangers of AI, make it have 10 chapters, a preface, blah, 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 and hit enter. Sandy, I've witnessed it do it. I've tried it. Yeah. It will write a book for you, 10-chapter book for you in less than a minute.
What did you tell me that did the other day? Create an entire movie in how long did you say it took?
I don't know how long it took, but I don't know if this is what you're talking about, but I saw this week where Scooby-Doo, I don't know if you saw this, somebody put in, create a Scooby-Doo AI movie in some form of animation and whatever, and they created a Scooby-Doo show with the voices of the characters in the original cartoon. And it was a full-on animated video, 100% made by computer. And it was good. I watched a little clip of it. It was funny, and it was their voices. Crazy.
And they only need a tiny sample
Yeah.
of anyone's voice
Yeah.
to totally mimic what you sound like.
Here's a good question. How do you really know it's me and Sandy? You know one of the ways that I think that you know it's me and Sandy? Jesus said, I am the way, the truth, and the life, and no man comes to the Father but by me. There is no other paths to God except Jesus. I guarantee you AI wouldn't say that. Just saying.
My goodness.
But the good thing about one of the greatest things that's happened with AI, Sandy, and Uncle Jimmy's world that he lives in, is if you're looking for companionship, if you're looking for a partner in life, AI can now find you the love of your life. Dating app Bumble, which I never knew existed. How did you two guys meet? Well, we met on Bumble. Is that the dating version of Rumble? Okay, I started to say, I'm going to say it. No, I'm not going to say it. Just put it this way. Imagine, let's get ready to rumble, and change it to this. Dating app Bumble.
Let's get ready to bumble.
You said it. I didn't want to say it, but you said, let's get ready to bumble. Dating app Bumble is going to use AI to be a supercharger to love and relationship. CEO of the popular dating app Bumble intends to use artificial intelligence to help create better connections and unique matches, including coaching users in dating and relationships, along with saving users from swiping too much. Now, we don't know nothing about that swiping stuff, okay? We met at a youth group, at a church youth group back in the late 80s, okay? There was no such thing as an internet or an app. You had to actually go up and talk to people. You had to actually go up and introduce yourself.
Yes.
You might pass a note. Remember what you used to do in high school? I mean, not high school. You might have done it in high school. But when you was in elementary and school, you put a note, do you like me? Check yes or no. And if you got the paper back that she checked yes, you's done. Yeah. You could not listen to nothing else. You couldn't think about nothing else. You was over there drawing hearts and you know.
You were drawing hearts?
No. I heard people. I heard some guys did that. But so Sandy, AI is now going to help you find the love of your life. What could go wrong? What could go wrong? Exactly. What could go wrong? It's like, you know, hey, ChatGPT, I'm going to send you a picture. I need you to completely analyze this picture. I'm going to send you a few blog posts and a few Facebook posts of this person. Can you report back to me if you feel like that would be a great fit? ChatGPT comes back and says, this is the greatest fit for you ever. And ChatGPT doesn't tell you about some of the skeptical things about this person's past. And then but you look, it takes what is we're being funny, but here's the thing. What is AI really trying to do? To taking all the work and all the effort out, all the thinking, all the processes, all the things that make humans human. Yep. We're just getting so lazy across the board that now we want them to tell us if we're compatible based on data?
Yep.
Come on. That's crazy. That's crazy. Now, look, as usual, we have saved the best for last. Okay, we have two more stories to show you. And in fact, I'm just going to go ahead and show you this one, and then I'm going to save the last one for the end because this is a doozy, y'all. And this is pretty much a doozy here too. So, do y'all remember back in 2011, I think it was, 2011, the CDC on their website put out the official response to zombies. Okay, I'm gonna put
Let's give them a moment to respond. Anybody really remember this? This was like
Yeah.
a thing.
Yeah.
And we all just looked at each other and laughed.
Yeah.
Hee hee hee. You know, what are they doing? It's not even Halloween yet.
Yeah.
This is so funny. Ha ha ha. How
And-
cute.
now-
How weird.
Now, was The Walking Dead around at that time, in 2011? I don't know.
Probably.
Probably, because people was talking about probably it was on their mind. So the CDC. Now remember, we're talking about the Centers for Disease Control, that we are very familiar with now, and I want your minds to go there when I show you this next. And by the way, if you've got small children, there is one little image here that I wish I could blur, but it's of a fake zombie. And we'll go fast through it. But I just wanted to show you something real quick. Oh, but the reason I had to show you this article, I'm going to show you why I had to show this article, why I couldn't just go to the CDC. But in 2011, this was actually dated 5/20/2011. Zombie apocalypse is a coup for CDC emergency team. And he goes on to say that before the zombies came, a typical CDC blog post would get around 3,000 page views over a span of a week. On Wednesday, the CDC website crashed when 30,000 people tried to see a viral hit on their blog called Preparedness 101. Listen to the words. Let your mind go there. Preparedness 101 Zombie Apocalypse. Now I'm going to scroll past this because it's talking about how fast their Twitter page exploded over this. The idea was hatched last week when the CDC Public Health Preparedness Group started plotting their annual campaign to raise awareness about the upcoming hurricane season. There's not a lot of pickup on the message. The CDC, hurricane? Think about it. Preparedness and public health are not the sexiest subjects. One member of the team mentioned a tweet that asked about zombies during the Japan nuclear crisis. It seemed to create quite a buzz. The idea for zombie preparedness just popped in their head. He popped in their head. He took the idea to his director, who luckily had a great sense of humor. They put up a blog, and in a couple of weeks, the rest is viral internet history. So we were able to go there not long ago because we printed this out. I don't know how long ago it was. Up until this. So it's called the CDC is no longer preparing for the zombie apocalypse. Wonder why? Look at the date. In 2021, what was we dead in the middle of in 2021?
Hello.
The Center for Disease Control and Prevention removed their blog. It was there from 2011 to 2021. 10 years. Removed their blog on zombie preparedness. Preparedness 101 Zombie Apocalypse covered such topics of how to stock an emergency kit, how to prepare for an emergency plan. The CDC, of course, were merely drawing on the zombie as a metaphor for disasters such as earthquakes and hurricanes. And while their use as the zombie metaphor for emergency preparedness was not new, the public response to it was. It talks about how it exploded. Do they know something we don't? CDC's blog prompted a study in 2015 that sought to determine whether the use of a zombie metaphor increased the retention of preparedness. Sadly, the students suggested it did not. But watch this. It goes on to say, there it is right there. So, gun sales spiked during the early months of the WEF. Thus, they got scared because people went out and bought guns. Oh man, I could say some stuff right here. Disaster preparedness, because people were not buying guns just because of the WEF. There's a lot of other stuff going on in 2020 and 2021 that caused people to do that. Well, I know you're laughing at something in the live chat. I'm trying to be serious here.
Is that woman holding a zombie baby?
Well, yeah, I think she is. It's a zombie baby. I tried to go fast, but you guys are quick that y'all caught that picture. Y'all are so fast. But it says the gun spiked during the early months of COVID-19 pandemic. Thus, disaster preparedness itself might be too broad of an idea to respond. So basically, they started getting reports, Sandy,
Come on.
that people were reading the 2011 zombie apocalypse preparedness. And they started realizing that everything the CDC was telling them to do to prepare for the wah-wah and to handle the wah-wah was in the 2011 zombie.
Yeah.
So they took it down right in the middle of the wah-wah. Is that not interesting to you?
Very interesting.
Very interesting. Very interesting.
Yeah.
But you know, we got one more. We got one more to show you tonight. And I believe it's a good one. And it's from our friend Ricky Scaparo, which we are going to see in a couple of days.
Yes.
He's coming to Alabama.
Let's just pause right here.
Let's pause.
Let's talk about Elevate
Go ahead.
Conference coming up on the 4th through the 6th. Guys, Paul Begley fans, you guys love Paul Begley. You love Ricky Scaparo from End Time Headlines. They're going to be here at Solid Rock Church. If you can get here, you better come on out.
Elevate Conference, October 4th, 5th, and 6th. If you're watching this live, it's this week. If you can get to Birmingham, get to Birmingham 4th, 5th, and 6th. And for those that love Pastor Paul Begley,
Look at this lineup.
look at this right here. Woo! Pastor Paul Begley,
Pastor Paul.
October 8th, Sunday morning at 10 a.m. will be preaching at Solid Rock Church. And so we're excited about that. And we're also excited about all those that have become partners with us. And the best way that you can do that is simply go to LarryRagland.com and you can click on this where here says for a gift of any amount. Or some of you have asked about you don't want people to the processors to get the money on YouTube and so forth. You want to just send a check to us to help us out. I'll leave this up here real quick, and then we're going to cover that one more show. So don't leave us yet. Just you can mail any check to Larry Ragland Ministries, P.O. Box 9489, Birmingham, Alabama 35220. Before we cover this last segment, Sandy, can you share your heart about our partners and how they encourage us, and the ones that click the join button down below and the ones that have partnered through our website are such a blessing to us.
We are so thankful. You guys are such a blessing and an inspiration to help us keep going, to help us just curtail some of the costs that come along with all of this. And it's just confirmation to us that you like what's going on here and you want more of it. And so we appreciate you from the bottom of our hearts, and just hang with us. We're going to do great things together.
Yes. And for those that are asking about the live stream of Elevate Conference, here's my answer. Maybe. Our emphatic answer was going to be no.
I think your emphatic answer was already no to a few people.
It was already no.
But I was hoping that you would at least entertain the idea.
I'm entertaining the thought.
Great.
Worst case scenario, we will be recording it, and we will be uploading it to our Solid Rock Church page. I may even upload it here. I'm not sure the following week. The reason why, Sandy, that I was a little hesitant about live streaming is because I want Miles Rutherford, Ron Parsley, and Mike Signorelli to not worry about anything. I want them to speak freely and not worry about the camera.
We get that.
And by the way, it will still record. If we do stream and services kick off because there's something is said, it'll still be recorded. But so don't tell anybody. Shh, don't tell anybody.
How dare prophecy watchers have their conference at the same time as us?
What? Well,
Leanne says she's going out there to see them.
Okay, well, that's
I'm
good.
a little envious.
Okay. Well, look,
You
Leanne.
can tell us all about it later.
Leanne, listen to me, Leanne. Next October, the first Wednesday, Thursday, and Friday of October, you need to come to Birmingham.
Yes.
Okay, all right. So, but we love you, Leanne. We understand.
Yes, we do.
All right, so one more thing, Sandy. This is courtesy of our friend Ricky Scaparo.
Go, Ricky.
That he and his wife can't wait to meet them.
I cannot wait to meet them in person.
We talked to him. He's been on my show many times. We never met in person. So
Many of you guys, I know you go to End Time Headlines.
Yep. So he's going to be in Birmingham. And by the way, several of you have already told me that you're coming to Birmingham. Some of you even said they're driving up from Florida and different places. please make sure that we meet you. We get a chance to meet you and take a picture with you if at all possible. It's going to get hectic, but we want to try to meet you and just put a name to a face.
Yeah.
Because some of y'all's names is like, look, I'm looking at Joe Mama. I'm looking at TLG, Lady Hammer. I mean, you're not going to walk up and maybe you will come up and say, hi, my name is Lady Hammer. Hi, I'm TLG. My mama named me TLG. I don't know, but probably not. So we want to know your real name, get to know you. But courtesy of Ricky Scaparo,
Yes.
and I think this is really a good one to end on tonight because this is the way we feel. And that is this. This was on his breaking today. I'm going to zoom this in one more so we can really see this. Is there a large group of officials at the Pentagon that are now releasing that they believe that aliens are demonic entities?
Wow.
He says, we live in a world that is getting even weirder with each passing month. In the old days, if you talked about UFOs and aliens, a lot of people would be tempted to think that you were nuts. But now UFOs and aliens are the subject of high-profile hearings in Congress. Corporate news outlets are constantly running stories about new sightings. It has become quite clear that something is going on in the skies above our heads, and this has sparked a tremendous amount of speculation. Are we being visited by entities from another world? Is something else going on? Some of the aircraft that have been appearing in our skies are absolutely massive. For example, a new Netflix documentary is examining the case of a gigantic Delta-shaped UFO that was seen by hundreds of people in Texas over an extended period of time. I have not seen this. I saw the trailer of it, and I've seen that it is...
This is the second time I've heard about this today.
Yeah.
I've got to check this out.
We got to check this out. They're saying it's the #1 streaming thing on there.
Okay.
For 5 months after Halloween of 2007, more than 300 locals living 80 miles southwest of Dallas-Fort Worth in Texas began reporting something strange in their skies, a giant Delta-shaped UFO. Estimates of its size range from over 300 feet to 1 mile long, as the large V-shaped formation, sometimes seen with 7 orange-red lights, hovered above. I could tell you something about my childhood right there because that's reminding me of something that came over my house.
Your big UFO encounter.
That was my only one, and it looked just like a V. And I'm telling you, it sounded like I'm describing this. Hovered above campfires, cruised past major highways, and sped silently across the horizon. Now Netflix's UFO docuseries Encounters, which premiered Wednesday, has delivered fresh details on the larger-than-life object witnessed by over 300 locals. For decades, movies, television, novels, blah, blah, blah. But there are other theories. In fact, a British news source just published a story about, quote, a very large contingent of people, end quote, at the Pentagon now believe that these creatures are actually demons.
Wow.
Pentagon commanders have clamped down on research into extraterrestrials because of their religious beliefs. Leading UFO researcher Ron James says senior figures in the U.S. government fear aliens are in fact demons. Ron, who is the director of media relations for the UFO research group MUFON, claims that there is, quote, a very large contingent of people within the Pentagon who oppose the work of the Advanced Aerospace Threat Identification Program because they think the UAPs regularly reported by U.S. military sources are piloted by creatures from hell.
Wow. This is the first time I've seen or heard this.
He says that he was told by Luis Elizondo, that's what I said, who has gone on record after being the boss of the ATIP, quote, it was not just a little voice in the Pentagon, but a huge group of people thought the phenomenon that was being witnessed was demons. What do you think about that?
It's astounding and amazing. The Colonel McGinnis, Robert McGinnis, am I saying that right?
Yeah, that just retired.
That Paul has had on several.
Oh, no. I was talking about the guy that just retired. But yeah, you're right. I know what you're talking about. Yeah.
On several of his webinars. I believe he worked at the Pentagon. It'd be interesting if he was one of those people. But this is very fascinating.
Yeah, it's very fascinating.
I mean, I did not expect to see an article stating this.
Yeah.
This is...
Which, Stan Dale's made it very clear. He has seen things that most people have never seen. He believes they're demonic in origin. He believes that, we got to go back to the word alien. Alien means not of this world.
Yes.
Angels are not of this world. So
Right.
Angels are really aliens here. The devil is an alien here. The devil is an illegal alien. He's operating in a world that he has no dominion to be at. in. He's in the spirit realm. This dominion is reigned and ran by the flesh. So yeah, I mean, if the Bible says that even the devil himself can be transformed to an angel of light.
Yes, it does.
It says, be careful to entertain strangers, because some of you have entertained angels unaware. So we know that fallen angels, good angels, and all this can appear to be different things. So who knows what it is? I don't know if we'll ever really fully have the answer, but I do know this. God is not the author of confusion.
Yep.
And this is confusion. I believe they are demonic in nature. It's good to know that we got people in the Pentagon that are believers.
Yes.
That are saying, hold up, y'all. We need to research this, but we need to know there's more to it than somebody coming from another planet. There's some demons at work here.
Come on.
So what do y'all think about that in the live chat? Some of y'all think they live on Mars. That little green men live on Mars. That's okay. You still come on in the big picture family.
Come on.
I mean, I don't know what they are in the sense of when they manifest into things and turn into things. I know that people are genuinely seeing something, and it's not all made up stories. I mean, people are seeing things. Hundreds of people are seeing things. Yes, government things. Yes, and they've seen creatures. Some people have been abducted and these kind of things. But I ain't read one yet that was abducted and led them to Jesus.
Yep.
Ain't nobody been took up in something and come back from it and told stories about how they felt the presence of God, and they heard the alien say, "Go tell the world Jesus is coming." No, there was evil things done to them.
Good point.
So if these were good, they'd be trying to point us to Jesus. Come on, somebody.
Well said.
All right.
Very well said.
So with that, we will close by saying thank you once again.
Yes.
For joining us on The Big Picture. Make sure you hit that like button if you already already done it. Make sure you subscribe. Make sure you share. If you watch it on Rumble, thank you for watching us on Rumble and commenting and building the Big Picture family. And don't forget, in 2 nights from now, if you're watching this live, not nights, day.
Yeah.
During the day, October 4th, 1 p.m. Central, 2 p.m. Eastern time. Come join me. If your phone's not in the microwave, join me here at 1 o'clock live as it happens. Sandy, parting thoughts as we tell everybody bye.
This has been a show tonight. We want to thank you all for joining us.
Reach over and grab that hat real quick. Reach over and grab that hat for those that came in late. Put it on. Here we go. We ain't woke.
No.
But we are certainly. Oh, wait. God bless.
Good night. They love the hat, by the way, right?
Oh, yeah. That was legendary. That might be our first viral video. Oh, wait a minute. We're still on.